My name's Tyler Barnes. I'm with the Milwaukee Brewers and also with Wilson Baseball. Very excited to have you all here today, and thanks for coming out. And we certainly appreciate the nice air conditioning effect from the propellers there. So again, thank you all for coming out. This is a really special day that we've been looking forward to for a long time. I'm going to start by introducing our friends here on stage. Next to me, Rick Schlesinger. He is president of business operations for the Milwaukee Brewers. Next to him is Grant Goings, the city manager for the city of Wilson. Michael Lemansky. Michael is with New South Ventures and the chairman. We have over here Scott Starr with RevPop. The branding that you're going to see today, the logos were all created and conceptualized by Scott. Did phenomenal work, we think, on this. Next to Scott is Malcolm Bryant from Bryant Corp. They are a partner in developing the hotel that is part of the stadium. And then Tom Flanagan, who is the senior vice president of baseball operations for the Brewers. So while we have 6 people up here that have been very important parts of this project, there are so many more people out there that have been phenomenal partners in this project, ranging from Milwaukee to Wilson, the county, the state, and public, private officials, just too many to mention. There's one more person that I do want to mention. At risk of my health, I am going to point out Adela Reeve, who works with us in our Milwaukee office. About a month ago, when we started thinking about this opportunity, maybe 6 weeks ago, I handed it to her and I said, good luck. Go find us some airplanes and put this on. And she, with the help of some folks here on the ground, has just done a phenomenal job. So thank you, Adela. So we'll start with a spoiler alert. It's not a coincidence that 3 historic World War II era aircraft just happened to taxi in behind us today. There is a good reason for that, but it's also not a coincidence that we staged this at the airport here. This airport obviously provides a nice space for this terrific crowd that's come out, but there is a very good reason for why we picked this place specifically. Going back to 2 former commissioners of baseball, Commissioner Seelig had a famous quote that said, baseball is a social institution with enormous social responsibilities. And preceding him, Commissioner Peter Uberoth liked to reference baseball as a public trust. And at the heart of being a social institution and a public trust, the game and its teams have very deep ties to their communities. The process of placing a name, a city name, a team name across a jersey chest is the heart of this public trust. And today we reach the finish line of that process, tying the city of Wilson to a team identity, one that we know is reflective of the great qualities of this community and its people. So with that, I'm going to bring up Rick Schlesinger to give us a little more information.
Thanks, Tyler. I wrote this speech for a 65-degree day, so it's now going to be a very brief speech. I do want to point out it is warmer in Milwaukee today than here in Wilson, but I assume that's not always the case. Otherwise, we may have picked the wrong place for the ballpark, but just kidding. As Tyler said, today is a great day. We're excited to introduce the new branding for the Wilson baseball team. We were committed from the get-go to make this a collaborative process. We knew we could not develop this team name and identity without community participation. We also knew we could not navigate this process without hiring an expert. The gentleman to my left, Scott Starr, as Tyler mentioned, is the originator of the designs, the branding, and his efforts, I think, are exceptional, and I think you're all going to be really happy with the work. But Scott didn't do this process by just sitting in a cubicle in Milwaukee. He came to Wilson. He invested his time and his commitment to understanding the town, the people. We have been here many times over the past year and a half and have gotten to know the people and gotten to know this community. Every time we come here, we're just extremely not amazed anymore because it's your brand, but just how many people are supportive of this organization, of what we're trying to do, how the town and the people and Grant and all of his staff have done such a great job with the public-private partnership. So from this research, from this socialization, from spending so much time here, we several themes surfaced about Wilson. This is a community dedicated to preserving its cultural legacy. It's a beautifully preserved downtown that is resurgent and full of energy. The town is a commitment to, as Grant says, swing big, not back away from opportunities or challenges. It's a region that embraces its rich traditions. The challenge for us was how to create a single identity embodying all those themes. Something that would be timeless, evoke a sense of pride, and respect the community's determination to preserve its history and its heritage. For inspiration, we looked to the story of Volis Simpson. Even from Wisconsin, we knew about the whirligigs. Volis' story is fascinating. It started with his roots as a Wilson County native, his service in World War II, and his passion for creating the unique. His sculptures are legendary. They're world famous. There's a lot of military themes with his sculptures, which is not surprising given his service. We note his first whirligig was in fact made from a junk B-29 bomber. Apparently it was born out of necessity to create a power washing machine for his fellow troops on the South Pacific island of Saipan. I think it was warmer in Saipan than it is today. There are obviously other ties of this region and the city to classic military aviation. This is a location that was not picked by accident. Thousands of World War II airmen were trained here, including right here on that plane behind me. One of its legacies is that it's still enduring, it's still flying 70 years after it was working to preserve freedom. And today, the region's ties to military aviation remain unbroken, with Seymour Johnson Air Force Base just a short hop away. Community, history, culture, patriotism, military pride, all came together to provide the vision and the brand. Now it's time for Wilson's professional baseball team club to take flight. Ladies and gentlemen, please turn around, look at the hangar. Join me in welcoming your Wilson Warbirds.
All right.
I can't get the box.
So if you will join me in welcoming three Brewers prospects, all of them played in the Carolina League last year. We have first baseman Eric Batanti here. Right-handed pitcher Josh Noth. And outfielder Braylon Payne. So starting with the red uniform we would call our third jersey, an alternate jersey that can be worn both at home and road. In the middle we have the road uniform, and on the right you have the home uniform. So excited to have the guys with us today. They will join us a little bit later inside, and you'll have opportunities to mingle with them as well. So a bit more background on the Warbirds name. Warbirds, if you look it up, it's a term for a class of powerful vintage military aircraft that have been restored to keep them flying, to ensure that they're not just lost to time or sitting somewhere in a museum as a static display. We are really grateful to have these three planes, their pilots, and the organizations behind them with us today. There are thousands of Warbirds still flying, and obviously it takes great dedication, and certainly keeping them up to flying condition is a great challenge. The bird that you see over there, will serve as the Warbirds mascot. We will have a name for him or her very soon. But just a little bit of background on that. It was designed after the red-tailed hawk, which is the region's most prevalent hawk. And I'm sure for those looking forward to opening day of 2026, another spoiler alert, we're going to do our best to get some of these warbirds flying back over the new ballpark on that day. So with that, I want to bring up Grant Goings, and as I said, there's so many people who have played critical roles in bringing the Warbirds to life, bringing the stadium to life. Grant really was the person who had the vision to make the connection with us and really start the ball rolling on this terrific downtown stadium project, the hotel project as well. And working with so many partners, and I want to bring up Grant to offer a few comments. Thank you.
What's up, Wilson? What a great day. It's taken a lot from a lot of people to get here. I was beginning to think with the weather maybe it was going to be the polar bears, but we like the Warbirds better. And my job is to be brief and get you back inside, but I just want to fulfill the opportunity to say thank you once again to partnerships that made this all possible. First and foremost, I'd like to thank my bosses, and as some of you might know, I really have no reason to kiss up to them anymore. So what I'm going to say is true. Politics doesn't really reward risk. Politics would teach people just to sort of follow the wind, look at the windsock, and if the public wind is blowing that way and you blow with it, then everybody will be happy. Political courage, on the other hand, is stepping out ahead and leading and doing things that people may not yet be comfortable with, taking some chances and taking some risk. And I can tell you that at least during my 21 years here, I've enjoyed working for councils that were willing to take some risk. And had we not been willing to take some risk and invest in ourselves over the last 15 to 20 years, I'm not sure that the Brewers would be here today. So I want to thank my board and council for having the courage to dream big and try to tackle projects like this. And then once you do, you got to have partners. And of course, our biggest partner in this project from the public sector is the county commissioners and the support that the county has partnered with the city. And we'd also like to thank the tourism board, who really kicked this whole thing off by being supportive from the very first minute that they were approached. Outside of our local partners, of which I've only mentioned a few, there are some people on this stage that you may not be familiar with, but I've got to just tell you they played a critical role. First of all, I don't think the Brewers and the city ever meet each other if it weren't for NSV. Michael and his partners making that connection. NSV was one of the first, or let's say maybe even the first, to make such a substantial investment in downtown residences with developing the Centro project, which coordinated with the construction of the Y and really got momentum going. So we thank you for that. And NSV also brought us someone else who I want to mention. We had a dream. We've had a lot of dreams, but as we began to dream about this possibility, the possibility of having a hotel associated with the stadium came to be. There is not one in the United States of America. I think Toronto, Canada, Major League team is the only team that has a hotel built into the stadium. But because of that ambition, we ended up meeting another critical partner, and that's Mr. Malcolm Bryant, who has an incredible reputation of building the highest quality hotels across North Carolina and beyond. And everything he's brought to this project just took it up to the next level, and he's challenging us to do more than we thought we could do, which is really role reversal. Usually with partners that we're trying to bring them along to our standard, and with Malcolm, we're trying to keep up with him. So it's really been great, and obviously the Brewers, I don't know what the first conversation was in Rick's office in Milwaukee when someone came back and said, we're looking at this small town of 50,000 people in eastern North Carolina to do this kind of a project. But they kept an open mind, and they didn't listen to a lot of naysayers that said Wilson was too small. And those of you that have worked with me know that I've probably said a lot of good things and bad things through the years, but I've never said Wilson was too small to do anything, and I hope that we never do. So it's a great day. I thank all our partners, and let's enjoy today.
Thank you, Grant. If I could ask Grant and Rick to stand up, and Chief Boykin, Police Chief, if you would come up as well and stand next to Grant. As I said earlier, this is there's great social responsibilities that come along with representing a baseball team, and today we want to make a commitment to the Police Activities and Athletics League. We're making a grant of $10,000 to the league to mark today's special occasion. All right, so a few reminders. First of all, you will be able to sample from the police department's concessions back there. There's complimentary concessions for everybody who's here today, so please enjoy those. A few other reminders. In just a few minutes, the hangar will open, and you will have the opportunity to be in there, maybe perhaps be a little warmer, get out of the wind. We will also have Warbirds merchandise in there for sale, so your first opportunity to wear the Wilson name across the chest and the Warbirds on your head. We also have free promotional items at a table in there. We encourage everybody to stop over there while the supplies last. The promotional items include a Warbirds car flag, so you can wave the flag all over town, a Warbirds stress ball, and best yet, a token for a free beer or soft drink at any of several restaurants in the community, compliments of the Warbirds. For those guests who were with us earlier today for the reception that we had before this inside the hangar, please go back to the reception table. We have some promotional items for you. Everybody is welcome to mingle in the hangar. The players will be there. All of the partners in this project will be there. We would love to meet all of you. And you're also certainly welcome to take pictures alongside these Warbirds today. And we're grateful for the pilots and the organizations that brought these folks to us. So again, thank you everybody for coming. This has been a remarkable day for us, and we are really proud to be bringing the Warbirds to Wilson. Thank you.
Good job. Where's our convoy?